Welcome to Here's My Story. I'm Amy. I walked through the door, dropping my backpack with a sigh, the weight of a long school day finally off my shoulders. That's when I heard sobbing from the kitchen. It was Melissa, my little stepsister, tears streaming down her face. "There's no food in the house. I'm so hungry," she said, in between sobs. I frowned. "What? But your mom had the day off. She promised to cook today." Melissa sniffed, pointing to the fridge. A note stuck to it. "Gone out with friends. Tell Amy to cook." Typical of my stepmom, always shirking her responsibilities. That evening, I was sprawled on my bed, lost in a world of numbers and equations. Melissa sat beside me, her eyes wide with curiosity. "Is that your homework?" she asked, pointing at the complex math problem on my laptop. "No, it's more than that," I replied. "It's a math puzzle no one has been able to crack yet, but I think I'm onto something." Suddenly, my stepmom Nicole burst in. "Amy, do the dishes, then iron my clothes." Her voice was cold as ice. Melissa, ever the defender, piped up, "Mom, Amy's working on a really tough math problem and no one else can solve it. Housework can wait." Nicole just rolled her eyes. "Math needs super smarts, right? I'm not sure Amy's got that." Melissa's temper flared. "Amy's super smart. She's a math genius." My stepmom just laughed. "So, Miss Math Genius, you've got two problems to solve right now, the dishes and the ironing. Quick, get to work." Later that night, as I sat on my bed, I pondered my life, how it's like a twisted fairy tale. Melissa is my stepsister. Her parents, Nicole and Joseph, adopted me when I was 12, after my birth parents died in a car accident. I was thrilled at first, thinking I found a new family, but reality hit hard and fast. The first day, I called Nicole Mom. Big mistake. She yelled, "I'm not your mom." That's when I understood. They didn't want a daughter. They wanted a free babysitter and a maid. You might think it's like Cinderella, with the evil stepmother and all. But here's the twist. Melissa isn't like those mean stepsisters. She's fantastic, and I love her to bits. So here's the scoop on what makes some days tough for me. It was a Saturday morning, and we were making breakfast when my stepdad came in. "Amy, the car needs washing. Get on it while we eat." Melissa stood up for me. "Dad, let's have a family breakfast first, and then Amy and I can take care of the car." Joseph frowned, his words sharp. "No, Amy has her chores. She's not really part of this family meal, is she?" My heart felt heavy, and I couldn't stop the tears. Just then, Melissa hugged me tight. "Don't listen to him, Amy. You're just as much family as anyone else here." Days rolled on, same as always. My little sister and my love for math were the things that kept me going. That night, as we tackled homework in Melissa's room, something scary happened. She grabbed her head, screamed, and then just fell down. "Melissa?" I yelled, scared, rushing to her. She didn't move. In a panic, I ran to get my stepparents. "Melissa's really hurt. We need an ambulance now." Nicole, glued to the TV, barely looked at me. "You love drama, Amy. We're not buying it. Melissa's just fine." Back in her room, my heart was racing. Melissa was still there, so still and quiet. I grabbed my phone, hands shaking, and called 911. The calm voice on the line said, "Help is on the way. The ambulance will be there soon." We followed the ambulance to the hospital in a silent car. Nicole and Joseph seemed worried, unlike how they usually are. When we got there, everything moved so fast. Doctors rushed Melissa into a room, and we just had to wait. Finally, a doctor came out looking very serious. "Melissa has a bacterial infection in her brain. Surgery won't help, but there's a special medicine that can fight the bacteria." My stepdad sounded shaky. "Can't our insurance pay for it?" The doctor said no. The medicine was too new and cost a lot, like $400,000. Nicole spoke up, her voice breaking. "We can't afford that, but we'll find another way to help Melissa get better." The doctor looked confused. "What do you mean? What's your plan?" But my step-parents didn't say anything more. I was confused too, wondering what they were thinking and how they planned to help Melissa without the medicine. Back at home, the silence felt thick. "What did you mean at the hospital about another way?" I asked. Joseph and Nicole shared a look before Joseph answered. "We're thinking about seeing a healer," he said, not quite meeting my eyes. "A healer?" My voice wobbled a bit. "Melissa needs real medical treatment, not superstitions. That's not science. It's not safe." Joseph's voice was cold, final. "We're her parents. We make the decisions. Your job is to follow them, not question them." The following day, the house was buzzing early. I could tell Nicole and Joseph were off to see that healer. I decided to visit Melissa at the hospital instead. When I arrived, Melissa was awake but looked really weak. Did you crack that math puzzle yet? She asked faintly. Not yet, I replied. She said, for me, try to solve it. I assured her. I will, Melissa, I promise. After the visit, I headed back home. Nicole and Joseph were there, but they barely looked at me. Nicole said, go do the laundry, and waved me off. But as I left the room, I couldn't help but overhear Nicole talking on the phone. She was speaking to her mom, saying, the healer won't do it without Melissa. We're planning to bring her from the hospital tomorrow. Take Melissa out of the hospital? That was crazy! Without a second thought, I dashed back to the hospital. I found Melissa's doctor and quickly told him everything. His face turned serious. Taking Melissa out now would be very risky. Don't worry, I won't let them move her. She needs to stay right where she is under proper care. That night, I just couldn't sleep. I had a huge task ahead of me, a promise I made to Melissa. The tricky math problem was waiting for me, challenging me to solve it. I was at my computer, staring at the screen where numbers and equations were mixed up, each a little mystery to solve. Suddenly, as the sky started getting slightly lighter, everything clicked. That's it! I was surprised when the answer was right there all along. In just a few minutes, I figured out the problem everyone said was too hard. I sat back, feeling proud of myself. But the best part wasn't just cracking the puzzle. It was knowing Melissa would be so happy when I told her. Thinking of her smile, I finally relax and drift off to sleep. I woke up to Nicole's sharp voice. Because of you, the hospital's on high alert, she said, her tone icy. Joseph's voice was even louder. You've gone too far, Amy. Get out of our house. Now. I should have been scared, but a sense of relief washed over me. My actions had kept Melissa safe. Quickly, I grabbed my backpack and left without looking back. Entering the hospital room, Melissa noticed my excitement. Did you solve it? She asked. I did, and I might just be the first. Melissa's smile was faint but sincere. Let's see if you're the first. I quickly opened my laptop and Googled it. The World Association of Mathematicians website came up and my heart skipped. The page declared, solve Clay's math problem, unresolved since 1960, for a grand prize of $1 million. I couldn't contain my joy and let out a triumphant scream. With tears of joy streaming down my face, I showed Melissa the screen. This means we can afford your treatment. I'm going to save you, sis. What unfolded next was like something out of a movie. I raced to the headquarters of the World Association of Mathematicians. At first, they were skeptical, but once I laid out my solution, their doubts vanished. They shook my hand, smiles spreading across their faces, and announced on their social media that I had just won $1 million. Wasting no time, I dashed back to the hospital. I found Melissa's doctor and told him the incredible news. We can afford the medicine now! His eyes lit up with hope, and he immediately set things in motion. That very day, they administered the medicine to Melissa. Watching her, I could see she was getting stronger. It was happening. She was recovering. That evening, Melissa and I were sharing laughs in her hospital room when the door creaked open. My step-parents walked in, tears in their eyes, and embraced Melissa. We're so glad you're getting better, honey, Nicole said, her voice soft with relief. Then, Nicole's gaze shifted to me. Her tone was cooler. So, you're a math whiz, huh? Hard to believe. Still, thanks for saving my daughter. Joseph chimed in. You stopped us. We could have cured her with the healer. I couldn't help but reply. I doubt a witch doctor could have done this. Joseph frowned. Still sharp-tongued, I see. Well, hand over your prize money, and maybe we'll let you return home. No chance, I shot back. That money's for me and Melissa's future, like her college fund. Right then, the door swung open again. Melissa's doctor, a police officer, and a social worker came in. The doctor didn't mince words. Trying to treat Melissa with witchcraft isn't parenting. I've reported you to social services. Melissa won't be staying with you any longer. Nicole tried to backpedal. I was kidding. Who believes in healers, right? But her words fell flat. The police gently ushered them out. Melissa's tears were bittersweet. She knew this was for the best. As the door closed behind them, I felt relief and resolve. We were going to be okay. Since that day, Melissa and I have been staying at a children's home. Believe it or not, we're really happy here. I've even dived into another tricky math problem. Yep, another one with $1 million prize. My plan? If I crack this puzzle, I will buy a cozy house where Melissa and I can live together. And guess what? Nicole and Joseph have started visiting us and seem genuinely sorry for everything. If they keep showing they've changed, who knows? Maybe one day we might consider having them with us. But that's a big maybe. They'd have to prove they've turned over a new leaf. Not just to me, but to Melissa too.